Okay, outside bins, this is no problem. You could add bugs, and if you're really worried about it, like for instance, I got this salad that's went bad. In a refrigerator, you know there's no fruit fly larvae or whatever, so you don't have to worry about indoor bins. But outside bins, what I do is I'll take this little bit of soil and I'll sprinkle on there. And like I say, some people get scared putting sand in their bins. I don't worry about it. I got the sand in there, and what you really need, could do is just toss it in there a little bit. But I'll also take this old food, because this is going to get a good start on when your worms arrive. But what I'll do is I'll just take it and I'll put it in one end of my bin. And if you look, it's not all that much, but you have this whole area that's nothing but paper products, so you got a big safe zone. But this right here is also going to start the microbes, and this is going to be getting some ready worm food, because like I said, this is actually called bedding, but like I say, they eat the bedding. You don't even have to add any kind of vegetables. They can eat just paper, but you put the food in there and let it sit for 1 or 2 weeks. And what I'm going to do is I'll put a lid on here, and of course I'm not going to be waiting 1 or 2 weeks, but that's the best way to do it. I personally would wait 2 weeks before your worms arrive. That bin's going to stable out a lot better, make your worms want to stay in there. If you do this right away and put worms in that's been shipped to you, the worms are probably going to try to get out, because just from the fact of the process they went through. But my worms, I'm going to actually take a bunch of my bedding I have in my bin and put it in the middle. But when your worms arrive, they'll probably be in just some peat moss, and the worms going to be kind of upset from getting harvested. So let the bin set. I know you get impatient, but this is the best way to do it. So I'm going to put the lid on this and just pretend that it's set for 2 weeks. Okay, when you advance, this is the way I keep a lot of my worms. And if you notice, this mixing tub has no lid on it, nothing. But this is a horse manure with bedding that's been composted with worms eating it. And there's a lot of worms in here, and like I say, they'll stay in there. You just gotta make sure it doesn't dry out or flood out. But just imagine your worms came in the mail, and so I don't know if you would buy 1 pound, 2 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds. But just say you got a pound of worms to go in here. What I'll do is I'll make a depression down in here. And like I say, just imagine this bin is set for 2 weeks. It'll look a little different. But I don't have the time to wait 2 weeks to show you. And I'm gonna do, just imagine some worms came with some peat moss. Let me find a good clump of them here. And just say there's a bag of worms. You just put them down in there. I'm gonna put some more in there. Worms are gonna be down on the bottom probably of this one. Let me find another batch over here. And then anyway, like I say, you're gonna put them in there. Just imagine you got your pound of worms in here. People will take either dry shredded newspaper, a wet sheet of newspaper, a whole sheet. But what I'll do is I'll usually just take a piece of wet cardboard and just stick it over the top of it. Of course, you can see I already got me a roly-poly in there. I like having those in my bins, but it just depends. And that's pretty much it. Don't mess with them for a while, just let them settle in. And that's how you start a worm bin. And as you go along, you'll get the feel of it. The main thing is don't ever overfeed your bin. You put a bunch of table scraps in there, you can overheat the bin and cause the worms to either die or leave the bin. And sometimes if you get a bunch of worms coming out, that's a warning sign that you overfed your bin. So anyway, once again, if you have any kind of questions, just feel free to ask. But that's pretty much it. But anyway, that's it for now.